Hey, reading group. We're going through the second part of our module 9, Global Guardians, and we are on the second week. The first word that I wanted to talk about, we aren't doing our vocabulary or spelling words this week on Spelling City, but I still wanted to go through those vocabulary words with you. You'll see those in your reading. The first one is obsessed. If you are obsessed with something, you think about it all the time. He was obsessed with the game and played it for hours. The second word, disoriented. Creatures that are disoriented are confused about where they are. As I was looking for my new classroom, I became disoriented. The third word is blunt. Something that is blunt is flat or rounded rather than sharp. Most knives have two edges, one sharp and one blunt. The fourth word, recruiting. If you are recruiting people, you are asking them to help do something. We're recruiting people to help us clean up the park. Your fifth word, appointed. If you are appointed to a job, you are assigned to or chosen for it. We appointed her to lead our discussion in our discussion group. All right, oopsie. The sixth word, stranded. If you are stranded, you are stuck somewhere without a way to leave. When nobody came to pick me up, I felt stranded at school. All right. Okay. Moving a little quicker than I wanted. Sorry, kiddos. All right, now I wanted to talk about the anchor chart that I was going to go through with you. Retell. So here's our anchor chart, retell. Retelling a story helps you understand it better. And then they have a tip here. Think about who, what, but, and how to help you retell a story. Who is the main character? What does the main character want? But what problem does the main character face? How is the problem resolved at the end? And after you think about those words, then you would tell about important characters, the setting, events and order, beginning, middle, and end, and your conflict and resolution. You also use sequence words, first, next, then, later, finally. Those are also ways that you would be retelling something that happened in a story. So retelling a story helps you understand it better. Think about the who, what, but, and how to help you retell that story. Who is the main character? What does the main character want? But what problem does the main character face? How is the problem resolved at the end? So then answer all those questions about your important characters, your setting, the events in the order that they happened, beginning, middle, and end, and your conflict resolution using your sequence words, your first, next, then, later, and finally. All right, kiddos. So I also wanted to show you the story that you're going to be reading. And I did assign this to you in your HMH on Sea Turtle Patrol. And I assigned this part of it to you also. I wanted you to look at this carefully. So our genre that we are going to be working with for the story on Sea Turtle Patrol is a realistic fiction. Realistic fiction tells a story about characters and events that are like those in real life. Authors of realistic fiction may use figurative language to develop the setting and the characters. Realistic fiction includes informal language to make the conversations seem real. Informal videos present facts and information about a topic in visual and audio form. Videos may use clips of animals in the wild to illustrate the topic. So as you're reading the story on Sea Turtle Patrol, I want you to think about the title and the genre of this text and the video. and I want you to write about it. Okay, kiddos? So I want you to write in here where it says start typing. I want you to write about what you think about the title and those things. And down here, you need to we're going to talk about the background. Building background. It has sea turtles, and it talks about the sea turtles. Sea turtles. Scientists think it is possible for green sea turtles to live as long as 100 years. Sea turtles are some of the planet's oldest creatures. Ancestors of today's sea turtles lived alongside dinosaurs millions of years ago. A sea turtle's shell is called a carapace. Its shell is designed to help the turtle swim through the water. Sea turtles may look a lot like the ones that lived on land, but there is one big difference. Sea turtles cannot pull their head and legs outside their shell. There are 7 species of sea turtles. The smallest weighs between 80 and 100 pounds, while the largest weighs over 1,000 pounds. That is pretty big. That's pretty crazy, right, kiddos? All right, so this was basically the same thing that we had just read. All right, kiddos, so I'm going to have you read that story and work on the things that are in your, on your HMH site. There are some things where you're going to need to do some writing. There are some things where you're going to just need to read it. There are some tests and things too afterwards that you're going to need to take on the HMH site. If you're having any trouble with the HMH site, just please get a hold of me, and I can send you a PDF file that you can print off, or if you wanted to just write the questions down and answer them and send them to me as a picture on Seesaw or on Remind, that would work for me too. Okay, kiddos? Just wanted to go through this briefly with you before you start reading your stories for the week. There's actually 2 stories that go along with this, but I wanted to go through the first one with you today. All right, hope it's going well.